Hi everyone, welcome to the 6th session of Small Groups looking at authentic relationships. I hope you've enjoyed the journey so far that we've been undertaking. Tonight we're going to look at some of the reasons why we need an authentic relationship with Jesus. In our Bibles, in Matthew 12, verse 46 to 50, we read the story of Jesus, and he's in a home. Now, note, he hasn't gone for a big venue. He's in a home, and he's using the most plentiful, common resource available to all churches. That is, the homes of believers. And he's teaching, and in Matthew 12, 46 to 50, we read the story. Let me paraphrase it for you. And Jesus is teaching in the home, and suddenly his mother and his brothers and sisters come to the door, and they send a message to Jesus. And the message is passed person to person. You get the idea? And eventually it comes to Jesus, and here's the message. Jesus, we're sorry to interrupt you, but your mother, your brother and your sisters are at the door, and they need to speak with you. Now you need to feel for the poor guy who passes this message to Jesus, because Jesus replies, "Who are my mother, my brothers, and my sisters? But those who do the will of God." He points at his disciples and he says, "Here are my mother, my brothers, and my sisters, those who do the will of God." Jesus is unpacking an incredible revelation of spiritual family that so few of us really grasp. It's not about church activity. It's about authentic relationship with Jesus. That's what makes us spiritual family. But let's ask a couple of questions then. What is it that we need to understand if we are truly going to walk in an authentic relationship with Jesus? Well, firstly, we need to understand that, as it says in Genesis 2:18, it's not good that man be alone. See, God did not create us to be an island. He did not create us to withdraw and be isolated. He created us to live in community, to do life together, to do church together. Jesus has created us with the ability to love and to be loved, to receive and to give, to be supported and to support. It's incredible, isn't it? And that's what he's made us to be. The second reason we need to understand this is that in Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 9 and 10 we read, how can two walk together authentically? I'm paraphrasing, of course. How can they do that? If one falls, the other will pick them up. That's the authenticity of it. But what a tragedy if one falls and there's no one there to pick them up. That gets us thinking a little bit. So what we desperately need to have in our life is a thing called accountability, but intentional accountability. You see, my friends, if we're going to be authentic in our walk with Jesus, then you need me and I need you. And we need each other to speak into our lives and to challenge and to support us and to spur us on to being authentic as we live out our Christian life. In other words, I need you to do anything it takes to help me walk with Jesus in such a way that I will be salt and light to this world around me. And you know what? You need me to do exactly the same with you. So that leaves us with two considerations. Number one, is our church a safe place? Is our home a safe place for those who don't yet know Jesus to come in and experience the love of God? Imagine you went to your GP surgery and it wasn't very good. Well, it wouldn't be very good because of the environment. That may play a part in it, but the reason it wouldn't be very good is because the staff weren't very good. What makes a great GP surgery is not the environment, although it plays a part in it. It is the staff. And so it is. We need qualified people. I'm not talking about degrees in theology or Bible college education. I'm talking about the infilling of the Holy Spirit in our life. The moving, the living, the working out of the gifts of the Spirit in our life. The dependency on those things. The fruit of the Spirit being seen in us that we are truly a representation of Jesus. We need to be qualified in this area. Secondly, we need to be accessible. Imagine you went to the hospital and you'd broken your leg and you went to A&E, accident and emergency, and there in the door was a great big sign that says closed. Well, that would be absolutely no good to anyone. It would be as much good as a dying duck in a thunderstorm. What we really need to make sure is that we are accessible to one another, and we are accessible to those who don't yet know Jesus. Remember what Jesus says, pointing to his disciples? Here is my mother, my brother, my sisters, those who do the will of God. And the will of God, according to John, is that we believe in Jesus and love one another out of that great revelation. Have a wonderful session this evening, and I pray this will be a life changer for you. Now, if you're struggling with any of these areas, ask people in your group to pray with you, and let's start to become more and more authentic. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.